Maple Hill is an award-winning, Kentucky bed and breakfast, located in Springfield, Kentucky, near Bardstown. It's set on 15 tranquil acres in the heart of Kentucky's Bourbon and historical region. It's just an hour away from Lexington, Kentucky. It's surrounded by rolling hills of bluegrass and a 3,000 acres race farm, and a cattle and tobacco farm on the other side. Many say it's a beautiful, restful place to enjoy a relaxing county evening with fresh air. Maple Hill Manor is a Greek Revival plantation and was built in 1851 by slaves. Thomas Irvin McElroy had it built for his young bride, Sarah Maxwell. It took 3 long years to build, as the wood used was all cut by hand. It sits on 949 acres of land. Of their 7 children, 4 of them died in the house at a very young age. Thomas and Sarah both eventually passed away in the home as well. Current owners and innkeepers, Todd Allen and Tyler Horton, raise alpacas and llamas for their wool. The Maple Hill Manor is located at 2941 Perryville Road in Springfield, Kentucky. Some survivors of the Civil War Battle of Perryville fought nearby the Maple Hills Manor in 1862. The soldiers were brought there to recover and several died from their wounds. Could the spirits of the fallen soldiers as well as the family inhabit this old homestead? Perhaps even the slaves who helped build it still be lurking about in the spirit realm? What else could account for the footsteps heard in empty rooms, cold spots, odd lights showing up on photographs, and prophetic dreams some people have reported? Some spirits found wandering this historical home is the one of the original owner's son, who plunged to his death when a railing on the stairway gave way. Another spirit, Mammy Ann, a former slave, who sometimes can be seen sitting in her former room. Aspects of the hauntings that have occurred here have taken on a number of forms: knocks on doors with nobody there, sounds of footsteps coming from empty rooms, cold spots, inexplicable perfume odors, odd lights showing up in photographs, and prophetic lucid dreams experienced by some guests who have slept here. Here are some true stories from guests who stayed at Maple Hill Manor. Anonymous guest. My daughter and I stayed at Maple Hill Manor for my birthday, March 26th and 27th, 2021. We stayed in the Clara Barton room, which adjoined the room that had been an operating room during the Civil War. We were the only guests upstairs that night. In the wee hours of the first night, I awoke to the security chain rattling on our door. A little while later, I heard a woman crying from the next room, and also a man who seemed to be in pain. I just lay there and listened until it stopped after a few minutes. The next night, the house was full, so there was no repeat of the sounds. It's a wonderful place to stay. Another anonymous guest. Something's definitely going on in this house. My husband, sister and her husband, came for the Battle of Perryville reenactment in 2017. We booked the Jefferson Davis room on the 2nd floor, my sister was below us. Nothing odd happened the first couple of nights. The last night though, I woke in the middle of the night because it felt like something touched me. I was sort of creeped out and tried to go back to sleep. All of a sudden the smoke detector in the room started buzzing loudly. I turned on the light, it stopped. I turned out the light, about 15 minutes later it went off again. I turned the light on, it stopped. This kept happening. Finally, even though it was around 4 a.m., we got up and left. Even though the house was quiet, my sister never heard a thing, though she was right below us. They heard us moving around and so they got ready and left too. Very weird experience. I don't think they were mean ghosts, I just think they decided it was time for us to hit the road. Another anonymous guest states this. I stayed at this bed and breakfast because of limited availability for lodging in Springfield, not initially realizing it was haunted. Upon arriving, the sun was going down and the housekeeper came in offering to share some history about the home. The lady mentioned the man who built the home for his wife, a 20-year-old, he was a much older guy who worked as an architect. The home was built 6 bricks thick by slaves before being completed, and the bricks were made from local clay. The house was used by the Confederate and Union Army as a hospital. Both sides had many soldiers die in this home, and the second floor was used as a surgical area by the doctors. The silence you experience at this home is the scariest part. I had some scary dreams upon sleeping here. Most people stay and have a pleasant experience. Could Maple Hill Manor be haunted, or is this a few individuals' active imagination running wild? What do you think? Would you stay there? Be sure to subscribe, like and share with your friends.